Hello everyone, glad you come around. William in here, 1799. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're not subscribed, subscribe anyway. Love to have you on board. I have been doing a lot of research the last 2 to 3 days, actually a little longer, about communism, socialism, and what is the fundamental differences between the two and so forth. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't understand why these people protest. I really don't. We'll get to that when we crawl into this. Listen up. I understand the U.S. Constitution. I'm not a scholar. I do read Federalist Papers and anti-Federalist Papers. There's a lot of things there. I don't understand why people want to vote communism. Because they're going to screw themselves. I'll get to that. Let me show you that. The U.S. Constitution is a supreme legal document that strictly limits governmental powers to protect individual liberties, while the Chinese Constitution establishes a single-party socialist system where the state and all laws are subordinated to the Chinese Communist Party. Its citizens are also subordinates to the CCP, which means you're slaves. China. Basic on the rule by law framework where the law is used as an instrument of the state controlled by the CCP. There is no separation of powers. The National People's Congress is the supreme origin of the state power, and there is no independent judicial system. So in other words, the courts report to the political party. So if you go to their court system, most likely you're guilty because the party will say, yeah, get rid of them. They decide what the courts should say, not the judges. Our system does differently. It reads the Constitution. Unless you're a Democrat, then that's a whole different thing, ballgame. Right? Okay, let's scroll down this a little further. The Chinese Constitution outlines that fundamental rights, freedom of speech, religion, etc., but these rights are heavily coordinated. I will read that again. The Chinese Constitution outlines fundamental rights, freedom of speech, religion, etc., but these rights are heavily coordinated. They cannot be used to infringe upon state interests, public scrutiny, or the socialist system, and are the subordinates of the CCP leadership. In other words, you can't say anything to people unless you're given permission by the party. China, the polarization collective of the national stability with freedom, often framed around the need of social order, state development, and prevention of political or social unrest. China has undergone multiple restructuring in the current version adopted of 1982. The actual constitution was established in 1949. Subsequent amendments, it can be amended by 2/3 of the vote of the National People's Congress, which means they vote their own people in. They vote their own leadership in. People have no say in this matter. it's really, really screwy here. And I mean, you can really go through this if you really wanted to. But I'm going to hit something too a little bit this. You won't find gay Chinese people in China. You won't find them in Russia. You won't find them in North Korea. You definitely ain't going to find them in Iran or any Muslim country. So all the LGBTQ people who protest against Donald Trump or the Republican Party, and you want more rights and all that, be thankful you can do that here, because in these other countries they kill you or put you in jail or some internment camp. Hitler, under Nazi Germany, got rid of all the brown shirts because most of them are all gay. Got rid of them. Plus he was afraid they would go against him too. And you won't find black Chinese soldiers in China who aren't military. You won't find them in North Korean military. You won't find them in the Russian military, unless they're from other countries. What I'm trying to put here is, well, we have a bunch of people being protesting by the Democratic Party to protest against Donald Trump and immigration and racism and all the bullshit that goes with it. Will not be allowed in China or any other country unless the political party told you to do so and you're supported by the political party. So when it comes to your Second Amendment rights, forget that. Rights come from the government. Your freedom of religion, all is controlled by the government. Because you're not really citizens, you're slaves. That's why these countries can kill 1,000 people with no problem. In the ideology, their idea of a smaller population is easier to control and to maintain than a larger population is. And it also keeps others, the rest of the population, in line when these people come missing or killed. Second Amendment rights don't exist. First Amendment rights said none of your rights exist. But yet they want to protest out here about no kings and emperors and dictators, when actually they are protesting for kings, kings, dictators, socialists, and communists. Because that's what they're protesting for. The protest, and here's another thing, China does push for violence when it is necessary. Here, our Communist Party is pushing for violence against, they call us, MAGA, white supremacy, and all this happy nonsense. An industry, I also found, is owned by the CCP. There's no ownership. Everything is controlled through the CCP. You own nothing. The government owns everything. Can't make this stuff up. So all your industry is owned by them, all the farmlands are owned by them, all your manufacturing factories are owned by them. Here in our country it's a little different. And these people think that our Constitution is racist. They think our Bill of Rights is racist. That's why these people want to go out there to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our great country. You know, Democrats are funny people, man. Our honored dead of the Second World War fought off the Nazis. They also fought the North Koreans, which that war is technically still on. It's just a stalemate right now. Or non-war right now, whatever you're going to call it. Then you got Vietnam, when John Kennedy was assassinated. The Democrats couldn't wait to get these men and women into Vietnam. My cousin had to go there. And what did he come out with? Nothing. Lost a lot of people. And you think that these politicians would go greet them? They did everything to distance themselves from them. Democrats here don't believe that rights come from documentation or they come from God. No, they believe it comes from them. The same thing the Chinese government says the same thing, which I just read. And since their government owns everything, so I guess you get everything free? No. You have to work for that free stuff. It's just that the government owns everything. You own nothing. You're not allowed to own anything. That I just read before. So you people will want to listen to the Democrats. You want to vote Democrats back in office. After they've been ripping us off on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, sending money over to terrorist groups and so forth. And then you got a mayor in California which is in contact with the CCP. You people just don't get it, do you? You think Trump is being and evil. Trump's undoing the damage that was done by the politicians who gave billions of dollars to Iran and U-235, which is enriched uranium, which the Iranians actually openly admitted that they are building nuclear weapons and weapons that can reach Israel. You can't make this stuff up. Read the history. Get back to the 70s. Get back to the 80s. People, you think this is going to be better if you go communist or socialist? No. And some of you people who support this nonsense, with your billions and billions of dollars you feed these organizations and so forth, are actually hanging yourselves. Because whatever happens to us is a domino effect. So you want to strip us of our right to own a firearm or to protect ourselves. It goes through every other minority group there is. You can't make this stuff up. I'll leave you with this. Think twice before you vote Democrat. Understand the ideology of these people. And understand why China's in the pockets of some of these Democrats. To then, you take care. And don't be afraid to train yourself. We'll catch you around.